everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Yolanda Hayes. I am not going to waste much of your time today. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. I have definitely delayed and waited to talk about this on my platform because I wanted to kind of see where everything was going to settle and where everything was going to go. But we are coming upon July 1st, so it's time that we talk. Before we jump into this video, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you are notified of all of my future uploads. Also, make sure you follow me on all of my social media. Everything will be linked down below. This is also going to be a two-part video as well. So make sure, again, you turn on that notification so that you are aware when the part 2 is uploaded. So I didn't want to merge everything together. So the first part is going to be talking about the lawsuit, and then part 2 is going to be talking about buyer agency. So in 2019, and really before, I'm going to say this, pretty much all over the United States, it's always been like little things said about real estate agents, and you know how we don't do anything and how we don't do much. We just open the doors. We just put a sign in the yard. There's a number of things. I'm not quite sure why so many people have negative comments about or negative feelings about real estate agents. I'm not quite sure where that all is stemming from, unless they had a bad experience. Now, the news has definitely gone crazy with the different lies, the misconceptions, and just plain out confusion with social media. You have national news, local news, social media, as well as just experts talking about it. So apparently in Missouri, the state of Missouri, where this lawsuit was filed, there must have been a lot of bad apples as far as real estate agents. And, you know, possibly, we don't know, this is again an assumption, possibly several agents were doing some bad things, and it came to a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of sellers decided to start a class action lawsuit under the assumption that real estate agents were banding together and setting the price at 6% to sell their home. They made this assumption as if they had no say-so. They were basically saying that listing agents were telling them that they had a set price and that they had no idea that they were able to negotiate that price. Sellers also stated that they were unaware that a portion of that 6% was then being given or provided to the buyer's agent, the agent that actually brought the buyer. So that's two sides. So let me just give you an example. 6%, it was divided up. So you have a listing agent getting a portion of that, and you have a buyer agent that actually brought the transaction together. Sellers are saying that they were unaware that some of that money that they were negotiating or unable to negotiate, that set 6% was being also given a portion to the buyer's agent. Now, with the amount of home sellers that were involved in this lawsuit, that jumped on the bandwagon with this lawsuit, I personally find it hard to believe that all of them were told that they had no say-so in negotiating the listing rate. Now, this was not a nationwide issue. This lawsuit again happened in Missouri. In fact, North Carolina was not even mentioned in the lawsuit because we have been doing everything the right way from the beginning. However, going forward, there are going to be a lot of changes being made in several states across the board, and I just want to make sure that I clarify with my subscribers, my followers, my audience, and my future clients. So I'm going to start off by saying that, you know, I know that we have some agents, and this is just people in general. This is not just the profession of real estate. These are just people in general. You have people with integrity, and you have people that do not have any integrity when it comes to work. You have incompetent people and you have competent people. You have agents or people that know how to clarify and really know how to communicate, and then you have people who don't know how to communicate at all. So it's across the board, really not in real estate. But of course, we have real estate agents that carry these characteristics. What I'm going to say is just to read reviews. You have to know who you're hiring. If you are hiring, someone that was referred to you, still get some reviews to make sure that the agent that you hire is someone that is going to fight for you, that's going to work hard for you and work in your best interests. So back to the lawsuit. Several other states ended up joining in on this class action lawsuit, and it was alleged that agents in these states were price fixing the commission, which was a violation of the Antitrust Act because they were not clearly clarifying that the commission rate was negotiable. The $418 million proposed settlement was granted preliminary approval, not because the allegations were true. The courts really just want to stop the lawsuit from going on for years, to get these changes made across the board as soon as possible to avoid the same lawsuits in the future. The final decision must still be approved by the judge. Now, when a seller decides to list their home on the market, they typically go with an agency such as Keller Williams, Allen Tate, Berkshire Hathway, agencies like that. And unless you are doing a for sale by owner where you are actually selling the home yourself, you are going to hire a company to do it for you. And this comes with marketing and advertising on a larger scale. So just like any other sales career that is commission based, so is real estate. So if you are getting a commission, that rate is normally negotiated and discussed up front. So again, the listing agent receives a portion of the actual commission for the services that were rendered. And what was happening is the actual sellers in the state of Missouri was saying that they had no say-so in negotiating that rate, that they were told that it was going to be a flat rate of 6%, that is the standard, and they had no say-so in it. But that is really not true. So I am not quite sure where the ball got dropped, but what they are saying as far as the basis of this lawsuit is that they were not clearly informed that the rate could have been negotiated. So sellers that were paying 6%, they also were stating that they were unaware that a portion of that went towards the buyer's agent. So again, I do have some notes in front of me that I'll be reading. The basis of this lawsuit was as if the commission rate was non-negotiable, but sellers also stated that they were unaware that a portion of the commission that they were being charged was going towards paying the buyer agent. So going forward in the state of North Carolina, I really do think that home sellers are either going to do for sale by owner. So we're probably going to see more for sale by owners. We may see sellers that are going to test the waters and try to change this tradition. Again, this tradition has been going on where the commission or sales commission rate is between 5 and 6%. This has been going on for years. So agents that's been listing at the 6% rate, some even higher. I've honestly seen some agents that have 30 plus years of experience list for 7% because they know their value. They have a wealth of knowledge and they know what they are bringing to the table. But again, we're gonna start seeing some sellers that are gonna try to, ruffle some feathers and not offer a buyer agent commission. So they may only pay the listing agent, which may be only 3%, and the listing agent gets everything, but the seller is going to not pay anything. We've actually seen a few sellers go ahead, now that this lawsuit is out and they are understanding how to sell their home a little bit more, they're understanding that it is negotiable, they are not seeing the value in the buyer agent, so therefore they are putting their homes on the market. Here in Winston-Salem, I have seen a couple that will either list their houses offering 0 to the buyer agent, and or I have actually seen one that was like 1.5%, maybe 1.75% would go to the buyer agent. And guess what? Those homes are sitting on the market, okay? No one's going to see them because the buyer agent has to bring it, and the buyer agent knows their value, and the buyer agent is not going to work for free. Therefore, sellers are going to see their homes sitting on the market even longer. Okay, so another thing that may happen is we're going to start seeing more and more discount brokerages come out. And what I mean by discount brokerages, this is like McDonald's versus Chick-fil-A. That is night and day. Okay, going to McDonald's and that experience is like night and day. Shopping at Walmart versus shopping at Publix, it is night and day. Okay, so that is what I'm saying about discounts. Okay, you're not going to get the same experience, you're not going to get the same value, you're not just overall, things are going to be like two different experiences when you're working with a professional versus someone that's going to discount services. Even for sell by owners, I have definitely worked with a for sale by owner before where they have their home for sale, but they are paying the buyer agent. For sale by owners actually see the value in bringing the buyer to them. So they know. I have seen even a for sale by owner offer 4% to the buyer agent. Okay, they're cutting out the listing agent. So even like I said, for sale by owners, they understand the value of what we have to offer. It's really up to the seller to recognize and acknowledge the value of a buyer agent and continue to offer a commission rate for their work and completing a successful transaction. If the seller is not offering a buyer agent commission, then the buyer would be responsible to pay the buyer agency rate that would be outlined in the buyer agency agreement. The buyer will know upfront of the commission that they are, responsible for prior to viewing each property so that they are not surprised. Now, a buyer has a lot of expenses. So a lot of sellers, they may not know or understand why a buyer may not be able to afford to pay their buyer agent because they have so many expenses. I do have a list here that I'm going to read. They have to definitely have their due diligence fee up front. They have to have their earnest money deposit before you even go under contract. They know that these are, upfront responsibilities that are going to cost them money. So due diligence, earnest, once they go under contract, they have to get a home inspection. They have to pay for an appraisal. They have to pay or prepare for their closing costs. They have their mortgage down payment. They have a 7% interest rate, and then they're going to have moving expenses. With all these expenses, if a buyer is unable to pay their buyer agent, because again, traditionally, this has been a seller fee, and now the sellers are going to try to put that fee over on, or that expense over onto the buyer. So if the buyer cannot afford to pay their agent, they will just go somewhere else where their buyer agent is going to get paid, such as new construction. Not only will new construction pay their agent, new construction also offers several other incentives, such as paying their closing costs or, providing blinds throughout the house. So I just personally I just got in under contract with a buyer that I'm working with. She only wanted new construction. Once I explained everything as far as how commission works, that she may end up having to pay the expense if she went with a resale home, she immediately cut out all resale homes. She didn't even want to see any of them. We have seen at least 6 or 7 homes, and they have been all new construction. New construction offers to pay her agent, myself. Not only that, they're giving her $10,000, up to $10,000 towards her closing costs. And in addition to that, they are providing a washer dryer. Now again, you have everything in the kitchen except for the refrigerator, but she has all the other kitchen appliances. But in addition, she's getting a brand new washer dryer, along with also she's getting blinds throughout. Okay, the faux wood, the nice faux wood plantation blinds throughout the entire house. So why would she go with a resale and deal with a seller that does not want to even help her out? So again, more and more homes are just going to sit on the market if sellers are going to start, trying to change this, years and years and years of a tradition. So going forward, what I want to say is to listing agents just really need to make sure that they are explaining everything to their clients. I know for me and several of my colleagues, we definitely was very clear up front. So again, North Carolina was not included in this lawsuit, but again, we have incompetent agents, we have incompetent and competent agents where they are not fully going through the contract and explaining that everything is negotiable. But at some point, you have to understand the value of a person and their knowledge. So if sellers are not understanding the value of an agent who has a lot of experience, then that agent may move on and say, you know what, you may not be the seller or the client for me. If you want to hire someone that has less experience, you may have to go ahead and do that if you are trying to save $1. So that is the end of this video. I really wanted to go ahead and get this recorded so that you guys understand what is going to be happening as of July 1st. Some contracts are going to be changing. And again, I know for myself, I will be going over these contracts with my clients going forward. So let me know again, if you have any questions, drop them down below. Make sure again, you follow me on my social media outlets. I have more short form daily content over on my social medias, Facebook, TikTok, as well as Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I record part 2 for you guys. Turn on that bell notification and you will be notified of the next upload. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.